Hello and a warm welcome to this webinar. My name is Elena Herdikhoff, and today we are going to talk about my 10 success principles for sensitive entrepreneurs. And I'm absolutely delighted that you're joining me here today. And as you may know, if you've read my emails before coming here, you know that we are celebrating my 1.5 million views of my TEDx talk. And I'm so thrilled to have you here with me today so that I can share with you the 10 things and the 10 principles I live by that have helped me create the life and business that I have today. And of course, I want to have this to be an open conversation between you and hi Marcus, between you and I want you to be able to ask me any questions you want. So we'll have two parts to this webinar. So part one is I'm going to share with you my 10 success principles. And part two, we're going to do a Q&A little masterminding session. So if you want to have any questions answered about your business, or if you want my intuitive guidance on anything, that's the place to ask. So that's what we'll be doing in part two. So hi Lotta, it's so nice to see all these familiar faces roll in. Hello everyone, so happy to have you here. So if you're just joining, let us all know where you're joining us from and the one thing that you're grateful for today. So I am really grateful that you're all joining me here and that we can have a wonderful webinar session together. Hi Sarah, amazing to see you all. So it's going to be an action-packed webinar. So if you can, maybe get yourself a pen and paper if you want to take some notes so you can get back to this. And just so you know, in terms of a little bit of housekeeping, I will make a replay available as well. So ask your questions now live though, because of course that's when I can most serve you and help you. Hi, Lisa. Amazing that you're all here. So what I want to do is, while you're all piling in, I'm going to already start the presentation because I have so much amazing content ready for all of you that I don't want to waste any time. Hi, Amy. Wonderful. So I'm really glad you're here, and I am going to definitely make this worth your time, my dear friends. So share with us one thing you're grateful for if you're just joining. Hi, Wilhelmine. Ayin, also wonderful. Colette, Birgit, hi, my dear Birgit. Ah, wonderful. I love seeing all your gratitude messages, so keep them coming while I start our presentation. And if you can, now's the time to get a pen and paper if you haven't got one already, so that you and I can work through my 10 success principles together and see you and your business rise even more than it probably already is doing. All right. Hi. So nice to see all of you. Hello, my dears. So here we go. So I hope you can see this. I'm gonna just check if the tech is on our side. Yep, looking good. I like that. So we are here to talk about my 10 success principles for sensitive entrepreneurs. And this is a celebratory webinar. So my huge gratitude moment is that my TED Talk managed to reach 1.5 million views, which is amazing. And it's so amazing that the message about HSPs is spreading and that more people gain awareness about our beautiful traits. So this means so much to me. And that's why I'm so happy that you're here today as well as a fellow HSP entrepreneur to celebrate this moment with me and with all HSPs everywhere. And that's why I decided to do this webinar and to really see how can I support you so that your business dreams and your life dreams come true. So that's where my heart is at for this webinar. And I really hope that you will get a lot of value from this. So if you're here, I assume you know me well. So I'm just going to go really quick on this part. So this is me. I'm an HSP, of course. I'm the founder of EntrePrincess, which is a mix of the word entrepreneur and princess on the P, which, of course, as many of you know, is a nice fable about an HSP. So my business role is I'm an intuitive business mentor for sensitive, intuitive, and empathic entrepreneurs. And the kind of work I do is I like to blend mindset and soul work with gentle marketing and sales strategies that feel good to us HSPs. So that's my core mission. And my own business background before I did this work that I do today is actually I started a skincare brand I had eczema for many years, and I found a solution for my own eczema. I created a skincare balm, and to bring this balm into the world, I managed to fundraise 7 figures. I launched it in Harrods in beautiful London, and then I retailed it across Europe and the Middle East, and it got featured in all of the wonderful magazines, and I sold this business in just 5 years. So this is kind of where I learned a lot of the business lessons that I can share today and that I share with my clients in my coaching work. So this is a little bit about my business side, and from a personal side, I am a Reiki master. I'm also a lifelong spiritual student and seeker. So some of my inspirations are Abraham Hicks or Yogananda or Wayne Dyer and many, many more. And I'm also a great fan of psychology, and I have a master's degree in gender and social psychology. So I love understanding mindset work and how the brain ticks. And I'm going to bring a little bit of those insights into our webinar today as well. So I'm just going to check in the chat how everybody is doing. And then we're going to dive right into my 10 success principles. Hi, Stephanie. Oh, Colette, you're so sweet. Wonderful. So amazing to have you all here. And I'll keep an eye out for the chat just to see how you're all doing. So feel free to comment away while I'm presenting. And if you want more in-depth answers, then we're going to do that in the second part of the webinar. So if you want any business questions answered or you want some coaching, the second part is the right place for that. All right, so now let's dive into my 10 success principles. And basically what I have done is I have curated kind of the 10 things that I do on a consistent basis, or mindsets or habits that have really helped me to create the business I have today and also the success I have today. And I want to help you with any one of these principles. If you apply them to your life, I can guarantee you that your business will also rise and that you will have wonderful results. So let's dive right in. Okay, is everybody ready? Let me know if you're all ready. Hi, Kent. Wonderful. So are you all ready for this second part here where we're going to dive into my principles? Okay. Okay, so my first principle that I want to share with you is to prioritize vitality and make health your hobby. Now, what do I mean by that? So as a sensitive person, of course, our health is also, typically speaking, more sensitive. And what I mean by that is we are more impacted by the energy of the world. We're more impacted by the energy of the people around us. We get drained more easily. We can get tired quite quickly. We can be liable to have some immune system issues. So our body is as sensitive as the rest of us. And I have discovered in my own business journey, and I've now been an entrepreneur for almost 15 years. And what I really have come to understand is that if I don't make health my priority, my business takes a backseat. Because if you don't feel well, you can't do well. And it took me a long time to really get this message, because I always was more interested in doing other things than taking care of my health. I thought that was sometimes a little bit boring or uninspiring. And I was never the kind of person who said, oh, my health is my #1 priority. I always thought, you know, doing amazing things was my #1 priority. And it's really not. So what I know today, and what I hope I can communicate to you today, is that when you have energy, you have everything, because everything is energy. So this is my #1 priority in my life these days. And how do you do that? How can you really make health your hobby? Is you need to become really passionate about understanding your body, and passionate about also reading the signals that your body gives you. And so you can see, I always feel tired when I do this, or I feel amazing when I do that. You really want to tune into your physical needs. And if necessary, if you have some health challenges maybe right now, take the time to do the necessary tests. Go seek out alternative healing methods. Go read books on whatever issue you might have. So that's really important to kind of get on top of that, and really also tune into your physical needs. And what I mean by that is take time to also look at the mindset beliefs you have that might be limiting you. So sometimes when it comes to our health, we have a fixed mindset. We think, oh, I've always been like that, so I'll always continue to be like that. Or I'm the kind of person who always sleeps bad. Or I'm the kind of person who's always low in energy. And that really, you need to tune into your body and your mind, and you need to register kind of stories you tell yourself about your own body. And you need to realize they're stories, and stories can be changed. And that's so amazing when we take our power back and realize that. And what we can do is we can shift our belief systems and bring more empowering belief systems to ourselves. So for example, I realized over a year ago that I was gluten intolerant. Now, that is, for someone like me, it seemed like a tragedy because I love bread, I love cake, I love cupcakes, as many of you know. And I thought, oh my God, I cannot do this. I cannot live without gluten. And I realized that's just a story I was telling myself, and it definitely didn't have to be true. So I realized I can take charge of my health and I can become a different person. So I had to let go of beliefs like, oh, I could never give up bread, or oh, I could never exercise daily, or I could never lose weight. All of these stories, I had to tell a better story. And when I told a better story, I started getting better results and I started feeling much better. So this is something more recent for me that's made a huge impact. And I hope that you can really take good care of your body as well and make feeling good in your body your priority. Educate yourself, find also a team of people that can support you, whether it be a doctor or new friends or people that will encourage any healthy habits you might want to develop. And if you do have an illness right now, my advice would be try and embrace it instead of fighting it, and see it as a holistic healing journey, and see it as something that can bring you to a beautiful place if you let your illness teach you the message it has for you. So this, I realize, is really one of my key success principles, and which is why I'm putting it first. Because when you have your health, you really have the power to move mountains. You have the power to grow your business. You have the power to support other people. So it's really where it all begins. So this is my #1 success principle out of 10. So we have 9 more to go. I'm just going to quickly check in with everyone in the chat. Okay, beautiful. You can all see it. Wonderful. So everybody can hear and see me so far. That sounds good. Woohoo! Excellent. So health is the #1 thing we want to focus on. Now let's go to our principle #2. So this, my dear HSP friends, is a difficult one for many of us, and one that I really had to learn. And when you learn it, it changes your life. I can promise you that. And that is to put yourself first and just say no. So no is not the favorite word in the vocabulary of an HSP, because we like to support others. We like to help. It's in our DNA to do so. And we have a hard time putting ourselves first. But here's what happens when we don't. We end up drained, we end up resentful, we end up overwhelmed, and it's a no-win situation for everybody involved, right? And no is the magic word that frees us from obligations we think we have, but we don't really have to have. And no is the word that safeguards your time, safeguards your energy, and your priorities. So it's really a good habit to start off in your mind with saying no instead of with saying yes, because anyway, as HSPs, our tendency is to say yes before we say no. So if you kind of swap that around in your mind, and your first answer to a request for your time, for your assistance, for your help, for whatever it is to say no, what happens is you actually take the time to think, is this right for me to do? Does this fit into my schedule? Does this fit into my energy right now? Is this something I really want to do? Because if you've already rushed with a yes, you can't back out. If you say no, or if you say another way of saying no is, can you give me some time to think about it? That's a temporary no. so you can see how it works for you in each situation. You allow yourself to figure out, is this really what's going to serve you and what's going to serve your life and where you want to go, right? Because while it's amazing to help everybody else achieve their goals, you are here to achieve your goals too. And that's something you never have to feel guilty about. This is, I feel, what you came here for, is to express and live your own soul purpose. And if we do tune into our soul, and if we do listen to our soul and our own evolution, then we actually have more energy available, because then we choose where we want to invest our time. And if we take time to fill our cup first and take care of our own priorities, then the things we do say yes to, we can give from a place of positivity, of overflow, of happiness, of generosity. Because otherwise, we're giving something we don't have ourselves, and we run on empty. And this is an epidemic, especially for sensitive people, that they're running on empty. And I really want to encourage you to not feel guilty about taking time for yourself, making your priorities in such a way that they serve you first and foremost. Because when you are in a good place, energetically, mentally, physically, guess how powerfully you can show up in life. And then guess how powerfully you can support other people. So this is a new reflex. And if saying no is nothing that you're not so comfortable with it, what I recommend is the following: is listen to your gut. Your gut always knows the answer. Your gut instantly knows if it's a yes or if it's a no. And you can replace the word gut with intuition, whatever it is for you that resonates. But the easy answer for yourself is always, if you think about somebody's request or demand, does it light you up to help them? Does it feel amazing to you, or does it feel heavy or like a burden? And then simply, whichever one it is, you honor your truth. And you know that by honoring your truth, you're in service to everyone. Because remember, if you give without actually having the capacity to give, you're not giving your best energy, and this will not be in service to the person who's asking either. So this is something I really had to learn. Not an easy one for me, really not, because my natural tendency is always to want to say yes and to not disappoint anyone and to not hurt anyone. But when I started to say no, and an empowered, positive no, that's when actually I managed to do great things in the world, and great things for myself and for my business and for my TED Talk and all these things, because I had the bandwidth. So think about your battery, and think about how much of your battery goes to other things than things that really matter to you. And then you have to see, is the weighting right? You have to really be honest with yourself and see how that feels. So that's my principle number 2. And let me know if you're also somebody who has sometimes difficulties with the saying no part. So I'll quickly check with everyone on the chat how this feels for you. Lotte, it's been life-changing for you this last year. Oh my God, that's so good. Wilhelmine, this is so good. Amazing. Yes, because really, we're not natural no-sayers, right? We actually have to learn how to say no. Most people have to learn how to say yes. For us, it's the opposite. And when we do, that's when our life really becomes magical. And that's what I want for every single one of you here on our webinar. I want your life to be magical for you. And you need to love your life, right? It's not other people that need to love it. You need to love it. And this is where it all begins. All right. So are we ready for principle number 3? So principle number 3 is a fun exercise, and something that I do regularly. And that is, I think, part of my kind of like success hygiene, if you like, is I take time to explore my desires, and my desires evolve all the time. So I need to continuously go back to explore them, right? And as HSPs, we're often so afraid to be disappointed that we stop ourselves from dreaming big and really stepping into our desires. Now, let me know in the chat if that has been true for you as well, that you kind of know your desires, but you don't really know them fully, because maybe you think this is never going to happen for you. And so it's easier not to even dream about it than to be disappointed that you can't have it. And I really want you to change that, because when we start tuning into what we really want, not what we need, and explore ourselves and explore what lights up our soul, and when we think without limits, that's when we actually harness amazing energy. Because when we really allow ourselves to go for our big ticket items in our life, whatever that might be for you, and if you feel comfortable to share, we're already here to cheer you on in the chat. But it's about diving deep into what you want, into what you desire, into what would make your life outstanding. And when you do this, try and do it without the reality check, right? Because the reality check that we give ourselves is the killer of our dreams. So maybe your dream, I don't know, is to travel the world, or to I don't know, build a humongous business, or whatever it is that would light you up. Maybe you think, yeah, but I can't do this, or I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the health, or I don't have the support, or whatever it is for you that you think, I can't do this. Well, think again, why can't you do this? Because if your dream is something that other people on this planet have already successfully done, then I ask you, why not you, right? Why not you? Why couldn't you have this? And the truth is, you can only have what you allow yourself to dream. So this is where you need to, at least in the dream world, expand your mind to open the possibility of what you truly desire, and listen to your desires and not censor them. And once you have clarity on what your desires really are, that's when you can bring in beautiful things like the law of attraction, for example, to draw these desires into your experience. And now there are many different methods. I use sometimes a mix of all of them. So one I like to do is visualize. Of course, visualize is something that I like to do, for example, when I have my eyes closed, when I meditate, or when I'm in my bed, where I just close my eyes and visualize a scene of my dream come true in some capacity. And I really allow myself to feel the feeling of this dream come true, and I get excited as if it has already come true. So I do that. Then I have a vision board. So this is where I have my most recent desires, and I keep that pretty front of mind. I keep it where I can see it. So I always reaffirm to myself that my dreams are out there and they're possible for me. And so many things of my vision board have come true. And most recently, of course, my TED Talk, that was once something I had on my vision board. I would have never assumed that this could happen to me, and yet it has. And I manifested that into my reality. What you can also do is you can write a petition to the universe, like a letter to the universe of your desires. And the way to do it effectively is you write it in the present tense, and you write it with gratitude, as if what you desire is already there. So you can say, I'm so grateful to be lying on this beach on Fiji in the sun. I'm so grateful to have this abundance that I can be here with my family and enjoy this magical time. So you want to write it in the present tense in a gratitude, because that is what kind of magnifies such a letter. And these really, really do work. And if you have trouble getting into the vibration of what's possible for you, what I invite you to do is to look for free resources that up your vibe, that show you that you are indeed the manifestor of your dreams, and that this is entirely possible. So people I like to follow and look at, for example, are Abraham Hicks. I'm sure many of you here are familiar with Abraham Hicks. I also like a lady called Agnes Vivarelli. She does great ones also on kind of self-love meditations that help supercharge your manifestations, and Neville Goddard, but there are many, many others. So find who resonates for you and allow yourself to really go for your dreams. Too many beautiful HSPs limit themselves because they think they can't have these dreams because they're too sensitive, too tired, too not abundant enough, or whatever it is. And it doesn't have to be this way. So give yourself this gift of visualizing big and allowing the universe to co-create the reality you desire. So that is my next tip for you. And we're already on principle 4, so I'm just going to check in again with everybody here. How you all doing? Wonderful. You believe in your visions. Amazing. Okay, wonderful. And Marcus, you believe in them too. Deslin, at some point I started pattern of immediately finding everything wrong with an idea and talk myself out of it. Yes, exactly, you don't want to talk yourself out of your dreams. That is so, so, so important. Wilhelmine, that sounds amazing. Yes, extend your comfort zone, extend what you think is possible for you, because when you do that, that's when you actually pull in the magic for yourself. So this is amazing. Well done. All right, so let's go to principle number 4. So this is a fun one. It's sometimes you need to relax to receive. So it's easy to be tempted to think that if you want to make your dreams come true, it's all about action. But what I actually believe is that it's about inspired action after having taken the time to rest. I cannot emphasize enough how important rest has been for my success. The more I rest, the better I do. It seems totally impossible, but the more I relax and trust life and trust the process, the less I do and the more things come to me. So in the beginning of my career, I was very much kind of in this go-getter energy of like, I have to do this, I have to do it quickly, I have to do it well, and like steamrolling through everything. And that really didn't work for me, both energetically and physically. So I got really tired. I almost got burned out. It wasn't right for me. And I had to learn that if you're in the energy of receiving, that's when you get inspired, and then you get inspired to do the right thing rather than just acting on any different, priorities all day long. You want to wait for the inspired action, and you can only receive that if you hold still for a while and if you let good things come to you. So what you need to do as often as possible for you is you need to get in an energy where you release the tension of the wanting, where you let go of the firm grip you might have. And you can release this resistance and raise your vibe in so many ways. Sometimes it's as simple as sleeping or resting on the couch, just kind of taking a break from being in the buzzworld, especially for us HSPs, to kind of allow our nervous system to calm down is amazing for us. Sometimes taking a break, even if it's a short trip somewhere to rejuvenate your soul, amazing if you can do that. You can meditate, you can watch ASMR videos. These are kind of special sound videos that help you relax. So if you haven't heard of that before, check it out. Many HSPs really love them. You can listen to subliminals that both calm your mind and they expand your capacity to receive abundance. You can watch Reiki videos for free on YouTube, which are absolutely amazing to really center yourself and get into a beautiful energy. And you can also listen to mantras. So these are all ways to relax, rev up your positive energy, get into the energy of faith and trust. And you'll see the more you step back, the more the universe meets you halfway. The more you move forward without being inspired, the more you just find yourself spinning your wheels and you're not having the forward motion you actually want in your business or your life or whatever it is that you want to manifest. So this has been a big one for me, coming from an overachiever who always wanted to control everything and who was perfectionist and who wanted to hold the reins ever so tightly. I realized that this was not going to be the path to success. The path to success is a path where you allow yourself also to relax, to receive. And it works magic. So if you haven't tried that before and maybe you're stuck in your business or it's not going as well as you want to, try relaxing to receive and you will see what a big difference this can make. So I hope that inspires you. I'm just going to check in. Ah, yes, absolutely. Lisa. It's new for you to have time to rest and relax versus being a crazy person. Absolutely. And it's new because most HSPs, especially, we live in a busy world and everybody tells us that to be rushed is to do the right thing. And when we move beyond being rushed, we actually get access to our divine guidance, to our intuition. So the less you rush, the more you will hear yourself. So I really hope that this serves you and that you can even now take a deep breath with me, lower your shoulders, relax your face muscles, and just know everything is always working out for you. And the more you believe that, the more this will be your truth. So I have a belief, and I have this on the top of my to-do list. And the reason it's on top of my to-do list is to remind myself of this, is I have written on top, everything always works out for me. And if that is one of your core beliefs, then you will see that this truth will manifest for you. So even if you get yourself into a pickle with something, you'll see that it will resolve itself. So that's a great one to note down if you haven't done so yet. So I hope this can also help you. Okay, so let's go into principle number 5. So this is something that I think is quite a natural thing for most HSPs to do, is to be a student, to be a lifelong learner. So I have realized if I want to be at my best, I always need to learn from the best. And there's always a new level, right? Whenever you've achieved a certain level of mastery, there's still plenty of levels to go, even after a level of mastery. And the way I see being a student is I need to take in my daily mind medicine. And what that can be is you listen to something inspirational, you read something inspirational, you watch something inspirational every single day. These are like vitamins for your soul. And when you do that, you see that you become so much more apt at dealing with the challenges of your life. You become more creative, you become more inspired, and you become more inspiring for other people because you're literally opening up your inner field of possibilities. The more kind of good mental nutrition you bring in, the more powerfully you can show up in your life. And by the way, this can be about any topic. So I'm not saying you have to like do daily mind medicine in the form of focusing only on, I don't know, law of attraction work or psychology work or anything like that. It can be about anything that you find fascinating, whether it's a book on how to garden efficiently, or whether it's a history book of some time in history that you find fascinating. Maybe the 19th century fascinates you and you want to read about that. It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you cultivate your inner garden with affection, with care, and you tend to that inner garden. And this will show up in how you show up in life. And so I do that every day. I make sure I read one book a month, again, about any topic that just happens to interest me. It's not directly linked nor to my business, nor to mindset, nor to law of attraction necessarily, although I do like these books. I read about what my soul finds interesting. And even if you were to read a book about growing roses, I can guarantee you'd pick up things for your life. You'd pick up things for your business. You would pick up some inspiration of how you can do life better from anything that you read. And what I also do for myself is I always commit to and invest in my growth and skills. So typically, I'll look for one online course every quarter. Now there I'm more discerning. I try to really look for courses where I know I have a weakness or I have something that I desire to be better in, and I will train myself. So sometimes it can be something technical, like for my kind of job as an intuitive business coach, I need to be on top of the latest tech strategies and you know what's going on in the world of online marketing. So I will take quite a lot of those kind of courses. So, you know, whether it be Facebook ads or the latest strategies. So I'm quite up on those kind of things. But occasionally I also do take courses for personal development in a specific area if that's relevant to me at the time. So as a habit, one course a quarter is a really good flow for me. And I also love live events and workshops. So maybe once a year, I'll go to a workshop somewhere. And if possible, sometimes more. I just got back from a Tony Robbins event in London, which was amazing. So I like to immerse myself also in environments where I can meet teachers in person and really get inspired and grow. So being a student is something that has really helped me in my business, in my life, in so many ways. And I invite you to also be in that mindset of always thinking how you can grow and learn. And this is always richly rewarded by life, I have found. All right, we're already on to principle number 6. Amazing, Colette, thank you. Wonderful. Okay, so principle number 6 is make friends with money. So tell me in the chat, everyone, if money were a friend, how great is your relationship? With 10 being absolutely awesome and 0 being non-existent or terrible. So let me know in the chat how you feel about money. Not how much money you have or how much money you can have, is how you feel about money as a friend. So I have realized as an HSP specifically that we have a load of money stories going on. And this is because most sensitive people, myself included, have always had the belief that money is kind of not a good thing, that money is something for greedy people or not nice people or people that have agendas, and that money is not a force for good. And this is quite pervasive, that most sensitive people have some variation of that story. And that can show up in undercharging in your business, or shying away from sales calls, or feeling bad when you ask for money for your services and you'd rather give it all away. So what is really important, especially if you are an HSP entrepreneur, is you need to embrace money as a force for good. And when you do, everything changes. And when you go deep into identifying the stories you have in your own mind about money, the stories you had from your mom and from your dad and what they told you and how that impacted you, then you are really going to be able to see what your money story looks like. And when you see, aha, I have the belief that money is never enough. I have the belief that I can never save money, or I'll never pay off my debts, or my business will never be financially successful, whatever it is, you can flip the script very simply and say, my business is successful. I always have enough money. Money and I are on great terms, or whatever it is for you. You want to really release those beliefs and flip them, because your past doesn't have to be your future. I have coached many HSP entrepreneurs specifically on money, and many started out with really heavy-duty stories about money. And when we lovingly unraveled these, suddenly these wonderful HSPs transformed themselves into powerhouses, into money-making powerhouses. And the beauty is that they have more impact. They have an easier reach to help even more people. They can take better care of their own selves. They can get more support. So money is a really fantastic thing. And if you feel that you're struggling with money, or you have an issue with your money relationship, please invest in getting help, whether it's a coach, whether it's a course, whether it's energy healing, whatever it is that you need to do, do it, because money in many ways creates freedom, creates ease, creates the power to have a wonderful life. So try to do what you can to shift that out of any toxic or limiting beliefs, so you can show up as your best and most abundant self. So I'm really big on that. I know sometimes in the HSP community that is frowned upon, that I'm so explicit about money, but it's really important for me to empower entrepreneurs to embrace making money as a good thing, because you are being in service. If you have something amazing, you should offer it and not be ashamed of it, and also not be ashamed to have a cycle of give and take. This is what the world is based on an exchange of energies, and money is just another exchange of energies, and can be a beautiful one. And there's more than enough money out there for everyone, right? So let me just check in with all of you. Yeah. 6 is your story, Jesselyn. Sarah, you have a story of repeated theft. I find it difficult to trust that money will come. Yeah. Oh, you're an 8 now. That's fantastic. From being a 2, Stephanie, and you learned it from me. Oh my, that's wonderful. Stan, you've been a compulsive saver. And Kent, you like the word increase. I totally agree with you. Yes, money story work is really amazingly powerful. So don't discard how much that holds a grip on your life if you have a negative story, and how your life can transform if you release that. It's really unbelievable. So principle 7, this is something that is a really core belief for me, and something that I am so fond of, is self-love. Because self-love is really at the basis of everything we do, even like we just talked about money, it is so important for everything. And as HSPs, we're amazing at loving everybody, but we're rarely amazing at loving ourselves. And when you ask most HSPs who they love the most in their life, almost nobody would say themselves. And I'll let that sink in. They will say, oh, I love my husband, I love my sister, I love my mom, I love whoever. But nobody will say, I love myself the most. And the truth is, that's who you should always love the most. Because when you give from a place of plenty, from your own self-love, then you can be a good guardian to the souls and hearts of others if you're a good guardian to your own heart and to your own soul. And very often what gets in the way of us loving ourselves deeply, honoring ourselves, is we have the underlying belief of not being good enough or not being lovable. And these are really two very painful and very toxic beliefs that many of us carry already from childhood, where we were told that we weren't enough of this or not good enough here or not lovable in some way, and we've internalized that. So it becomes almost like weird to love yourself. Like if you tell an HSP to love this person who's in pain, they're going to be all over it. If you tell that same HSP to love themselves, they're going to be like, how do I do that, right? It's not natural for us, right? And the way you can do this is it's a journey, and you start a relationship with yourself. You really tune into how you can love yourself in a way that feels good. And self-love is much more than self-care. It's a real deep grounding in your own soul. And you can do little things like you can put it on a screensaver, on a mirror, you know, I am enough, or I love myself. You can do self-love meditations. You can write yourself a love letter. You can do anything that will anchor in how amazing you are to yourself, because you need to be your #1 ally, right? You at the end of the day, you are all you have in this life. Everybody else is a beautiful addition, but you are the only one you can always count on, because you are you, right? So try and internalize that. And if you like, you can start this right away, and you can tell everyone in the chat one thing that you really love about yourself. So go ahead and share if you like, and get started on the self-love train. And now I want to go into principle number 8. And that is the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people. So I've realized, and as of many other people as well, of course, that we become who we spend the most time with. And you have to kind of take a little audit of your life and look at the people in your life and see, how do their energies actually impact me? How do their belief systems impact me? Because we tend to become who we spend the most time with. And you want to be with people that lift you up, that inspire you, that have amazing things to share with you. And I had to make it a habit to try and be the least clever person in any room that I'm in. Now, that from an ego perspective, that's like, oh, but I don't want to be kind of the smallest person in the room. But really, that is the best thing you can do. So if you surround yourself with people who embody what you most admire, and by being with them, you kind of, in the process of osmosis, you start to think like them. You start to be inspired by the possibilities they see. And if you are hanging around with them, they show you what is possible. And sometimes we don't even realize what's possible for us, because we don't have anybody else going for it in our life that would mirror this opportunity mindset back to us. So that's really important. So either get yourself a mentor, paid or unpaid, somebody who you think lives the kind of life that you dream of living, and see how they can help you, how they can show you your own blind spots, how they can uplift you. You can join or create a mastermind group. So I myself am in 2 amazing mastermind groups, and I would hands down say that everybody in these 2 groups, they're in many respects further on the road than me, and I learned so much from them, and this is my greatest joy. So allow yourself to be in a healing and helpful environment by being with people who are fully embodying their dreams and living them. And lastly, you want to remove energy vampires from your life, because the more you have energy vampires in your life, the less you will be able to, again, take care of yourself, take care of your priorities, and take care of your dreams. So I'm sure you know, if I say the word energy vampire, somebody will come to your mind. If it's not somebody that you can kind of exclude from your life because they're family or close friends, or it's not possible, then the magic word for you is boundaries. Figure out how to establish a contact that feels good to you and not draining, because remember, you're the guardian of your energy and you have the right to take care of yourself first. So that's a really important one for me. And I'm just gonna quickly check in with everybody. Oh, I'm a queen, Birgit. Yes, you are. Lisa, you love that you're a kind person. Stan, you love that you're a kind person. I love that. I love my depth and insights. Wonderful. Awesome. Okay, principle 9. So these are my magic 3. These are kind of three habits of thought and habits of being that I put together. So that's gratitude, forgiveness, and contribution. So these are kind of my feel-good triplets, and I do them each one every day. So I have a daily gratitude practice, and that can sometimes mean I will write down 3 things that I'm grateful for in a day, or just one thing. It can be on a phone call with someone I love. I say, what was the best part of your day? And then in return, they'll ask me what was the best part of mine. So it's anchoring in that mindset to look for what's good, right? Because we all have a tendency to sometimes look for what's not so good. And if you look for what's good, then really life starts shining for you. The second thing that's really important is daily forgiveness. And that doesn't necessarily always mean somebody you know or somebody you personally need to forgive. It can sometimes be to forgive what you see going on the world stage. It can be sometimes forgiving a political leader that distresses you. It can mean forgiving something from your childhood, or whatever it is, or forgiving yourself. It's to release any heavy energy attachments you have to things that you wish hadn't happened. And when you do that, it's like taking a shower for your soul. You can wash away things that weigh you down. And the third thing is daily contribution. And what I mean by that is explicitly look for how you can help somebody every day. And it can be a small thing. It can be at the supermarket. You see somebody's in a rush, they're behind you, and you know that, they seem distressed. Let them in front of you. That can be your daily act of contribution. It can be calling somebody who you know is having a tough time and you can help them. It can mean anything, right? You want to, when you do all these things, I'm telling you, you'll actually have the energy to contribute. Because if you are in an energy of plenty, you can contribute and help other people easily every single day. And if you do, this will uplift whoever you're helping, and it'll uplift you too. So this is really kind of, if you can manage to integrate these 3 into your daily experience, then your life will feel magical. And that's what I want for every single one of you, of course. And my last principle number 10, is now focused on business. So I'll just check in with everyone. Amazing. Ooh, I love reading all your comments. Amazing. Well, I love hearing all of this from you too, my dears. So here are my business golden rules, right? And I kind of stacked my different beliefs together because they've all served me in different ways. So my number 1 is good enough. So hands up if you're a perfectionist or a recovering perfectionist, which most HSPs tend to be, because we can see in our mind how something could be if it's perfect. So anything less than what we can visualize in our mind is not going to feel good enough, and we can really stress ourselves out. We can go into massive overwhelm and all that good stuff, and we really don't want to do that. So we try and allow ourselves to let good be good enough, and to release some tension, and to realize that our good enough is most people's perfection anyway, right? Now, the second thing I always try and do is when I make any business decisions, or when anything comes up for me where I need to decide which way am I going to go, is I'm going to follow my bliss. I'm going to follow what feels good, not what feels like I should do it. Because especially if you're a business owner, you will have many people telling you what to do. One will say you have to do this strategy. The other will say, no, you have to do this one. And the third will say, definitely not, you need to try this strategy. So if you listen to all of this, you get totally overwhelmed and think, oh my God, what am I going to do to grow my business? I have to do 10 different things at the same time to grow my business. That's not true. You need to follow what feels good to you, what makes you feel blissed out if you think about it. That's what you want to do. Then you want to embrace fear. So whenever we grow our business, it's natural that we'll have to do things we don't know how to do yet. And that's a kind of healthy fear. So do something scary often. If you have never done a Facebook Live, do a Facebook Live. If you've never done a webinar, do a webinar. If you've never stood on a stage, stand on a stage. Whatever it is, do something that is scary, because whatever is scary, once you've done it, will become part of your growth. And that's how you grow yourself and you grow your business. So try and embrace fear. Then another big one is don't do too much at once. So I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, like probably many of you here on this webinar. If I could, I would happily do 10 projects at the same time, just because it stimulates my soul. I like that. But that doesn't typically lead to success if you do that. So what I had to learn, and what has helped me, is to focus on one thing at a time and know I can do these other things, just not right now. And like this, I can kind of satisfy the multi-passionate part of myself and know I'll get to it, but I'll focus on one thing at a time. And this really helps you to take things to the next level. Then another thing I had to do is to remove victim speak from how I talk about my business. So I had to become quite mindful of when I said, oh, I can't do that, or I will never be able to achieve that, or that's not possible, or that's too hard. Because this was just like almost like a mantra to myself, where I reaffirmed my worst fears. And then, of course, I couldn't actually do it, because that was going to be true for me, right? So whatever you say habitually becomes your truth. So I had to really be conscious of it. And I even asked my partner, say, please, can you pull me up when I say I can't or I won't? Because I don't want to have this to be a habit that I speak like this. And over time, I've really managed to filter it out. And this changes your energy and your sense of possibility a lot. Now, you also want to value your time as much as your money. We're also generous with our time because we think we have endless amounts. And if we start to honor our time as much as our money, we really become more careful about what we do with our time, how we spend it. And this is also a great way to become more successful, right? So this is something I'm really big on. Then you want to also kind of focus on, are you leaving enough margin for the universe to support you? So say you have a desire, say you took inspired action, trust that there is a margin for magic where the universe will swoop in and also help you to co-create it. So a big word for me is you're not the only creator of your life, you're co-creating, right? So allow for a margin for magic, allow for something good to come in and to support you as well. And then it will. If you have this instinct, like I'll go as far as I can go, and then I expect that the universe or God or whoever you believe in will meet me halfway, then that's usually how it will be. And lastly, one of my business golden rules is that intuition is more important than strategies, blueprints, or whatever other people tell you. Your intuition trumps it all. And I use my intuition all the time when I make business decisions. Does this feel good? Does this feel right? Does this feel aligned? What could I do today to, take my business to the next level or to make more money or whatever it is? Your intuition will have an answer. So really check in with yourself as often as you can and see how you can create a business that feels good to you, right? That is so, so, so important. So I hope that this already kind of gives you an overview of what I believe in. And I think that can serve some of you to do these things as well. When you could do a million things at once as well. So we're all like that. That's amazing. Yeah, I think you know, we're all multi-passionate. We all love this. This is who we are. So I totally get it. You know, we have also many different talents. So we want to explore them all at the same time. But the path to success is really to take it bit by bit. So hopefully this can serve you as well. So let's see how many of you feel this way right now. So I know, and this is something that is my life's mission to change, is that HSPs are probably by nature, I would say, the most able entrepreneurs, because by nature we're creative, by nature we're intuitive, by nature we're also very fair. People trust us. By nature we have a good sense of the market, of what's coming. We can be incredibly innovative in the kind of products we bring out into the marketplace, the services. We can tune into other people's needs. Like, I think HSPs make the best entrepreneurs. But what I also know is that most often HSPs don't thrive with their business. And I really made it my life's mission to change that, because I think if more empowered HSPs step up and step into their business power, then the more they will do good in the world. So this is why I'm so lit up and fired up about this, because we all can really join hands here and take things to the next level. And let me know, out of all of these, how many do you feel are true for you in terms of, is your sensitivity actually your secret business Achilles heel? Do you feel maybe you lack the success you desire? Maybe you feel that, you know, any kind of setback in your business takes a huge toll on you emotionally, or maybe you're kind of hiding from the world because you're dealing with some visibility fears. Maybe you feel you don't actually thrive on business, and you maybe created a belief in yourself that you're not good at sales, or you're not good at marketing, or you'll never manage how to do some kind of business or online strategies. Maybe you're not making the money that you know you could make and you'd like to make. Perhaps you're also overwhelmed or exhausted by your business and it's too much for you. Maybe, you know, you get in your own way or in your own head too often. Maybe you talk yourself out of things too much. Or perhaps you're too cautious or often too worried about what to do, and that kind of stops your progress. Or perhaps you feel a lack of confidence in yourself sometimes, and you tend to self-sabotage a little bit because you have a fear of failure, or potentially even a fear of success. And lastly, maybe you often feel low on physical and emotional energy, and you don't even feel that you can give your business your best because you're running on empty. So I'm just going to take a pulse for the room here to see how many of you feel this is you. Stephanie, all of them for you. Sarah, this is you to a T. Get overwhelmed too quickly by your own ideas. Yeah, this list is so familiar. Yeah, a very sore Achilles heel. We are going to change that today. Yeah. Oh, I totally get it. You've been scolded, exploited, and shamed for your HSPness. Well, not here. You definitely won't. Here you are adored for your HSPness, and we're all in this together. And I want every single one of you to actually see that your sensitivity can be your business superpower if you transform how you see it, right? And so we're going to work a little bit more on that, and that's going to be amazing. So really, you're not alone. As you see just from the chat here, being a sensitive entrepreneur, you know, we all know what these things are like. It can be intense, it can be lonely, it can be painful, and not everybody gets us, right? And like somebody just shared in the comments, you even get shamed for being sensitive. And it's hard to sometimes understand what our strengths are and how to leverage them and how to heal the shadow sides of sensitivity that are there sometimes, you know, that we're excessively perfectionist, that we get overwhelmed quickly, that we can be sometimes very anxious. You know, these things can be critical for us. And for us as sensitives, it's really so important that we master our sensitivity, because it's crucial for our success. And I really know how overwhelming it can feel to say, okay, well, I know I have all these issues, but now what? You know, I can't stop being an HSP, so now what? So I would say definitely don't stop being an HSP. That's your superpower. You definitely don't want to stop being your marvelous self, but you do want to know how to actually handle your sensitivity and how you can get the best out of it, and how you can deal lovingly with your more shadow sides. And of course, sometimes you get into the mode of like, okay, what can you do? You can research, you can talk to other people, you can look for free support, but sometimes it can, feel overwhelming because, I mean, if you're here, you've probably tried this already for a few years to do it this way, right? It can be a bit slow, it can be lonely, you can feel resistance to dealing also with these painful issues, it can feel too close to home, it doesn't always feel good. And this is kind of where I want to come in, because what I've learned over my own journey of almost 15 years of entrepreneurship, can you believe it? I mean, it's shocking even to me that I've been an entrepreneur for this long. And it's actually, this year is 15 years, so it's quite apt that I have my 1.5 million TEDx talk views, so 1.5 and 15 years, so that's quite something. And what I want to do is I want to help you, if you feel this is right for you, I want to help you kind of overcome the sensitive shadow side and really thrive with who you are and how you are emotionally and financially. As you know, that is a big one for me. And because it's a big celebration day, I have something I've literally never, ever, ever, ever offered before. And I'm going to share this with you because it's so cool. I mean, I know maybe I shouldn't say this about my own offer, that I think it's so cool, but I do think it is. And here's why. So I have put together for my TEDx celebration my ultimate sensitive success package. Now, what is that? So over the years, believe it or not, since I have been running Entreprinces, I have created 5 online courses. And some of you might know different ones. Maybe some of you are even members of some of these. And I have decided to pool all 5 of my courses, literally, and they're about how to thrive as a sensitive entrepreneur, how to master your money mindset, how to master your emotions, and basically everything I wish somebody had told me 15 years ago. I have put that into 5 courses, and I'm going to offer all 5 courses in one bundle. So this is access all areas to how I think, to what I do, to what I believe, to my resources, to everything. And what I want to do here is I want to really help you discover your hidden sensitive powers to transform your approach to business. I want to help you leverage your natural GPS, meaning, of course, your beautiful intuition, so you can make really aligned and profitable decisions for yourself. I want to help you get rid of this terrible overwhelm feeling. I know this is the #1 complaint I hear from my clients, is the overwhelm, and to help you really get out of this inertia sometimes and this panic even that overwhelm can cause us. And I help you how to master boundaries. And this is not only in your business life, but also in our personal lives. Maybe you have an overbearing mother. Maybe your best friend is encroaching on your space too much, whatever it is. I want to help you really transition out of that kind of stress energy and learn how to set boundaries effectively and with love. I'm also going to share with you my entire self-care regime, so what I do to stay healthy, happy, and also fired up. As you can probably tell, I am very fired up about the work I do because I love it and have the energy for it. Another big thing for me is I want to help HSPs embrace marketing and sales, because making money is really nothing that has to be sleazy. It can be a positive thing, because if you think that what you serve, what you offer is going to serve other people to live the life of their dreams, then withholding it from them is actually a selfish act. That's why I never feel uncomfortable about sharing what I have to offer, because it's something that I see as an extension of my service. It's something that I know that I've created with so much love and with all of my knowledge to help others. So if I would withhold that, that would actually not feel good to me. And I want you to be in that same energy. I also want to help you to step into the limelight, even if you're an introvert, so that other people can find you and see you, and you're not the best kept secret of your industry or of the internet. I also want to help you kind of deal with any fear of failures that you might have, or fear of not being good enough. And I want to help you make amazing money doing what you love, because that's what it's about, right? We're business owners because we want to do what we love. Otherwise, we'd be maybe working for someone else. So these are my 5 online courses for your success. So I'm going to quickly just check with everyone in the chat, and then I'm going to take you through my amazing offer that I'm so thrilled about. Because just to give you a sneak peek, it's 5 online courses for the price of just 1. So I've never offered that before. I'll never offer that again. So this is my celebratory offer, and I'm going to go into the details of that in a minute if that's something you are interested in. So, haha, wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy for everybody who finds this helpful. Amazing. So check this out, everybody. 5 online courses. Get this. So this is my signature course. Of course, is in there. That's my Sensitive Success Society. And I know some of you in the chat are actually members of that course. So this course is the one-stop shop you need if you're a sensitive business owner, because there I will go over 7 video modules into everything that you need to know to understand your sensitivity, to deal with overwhelm, to heal perfectionism, to become a money magnet, and to manage your energy, your mindset. Everything is kind of the A to Z of being a successful sensitive business owner. And that is usually $997 US. My other signature course, and these are my 2 big courses, is my money mindset course. Now, this is what I mentioned earlier. This is the kind of course where we go into how you feel about money, why you feel this way about money, what your family relationships are like with when it comes to money with you, what your old beliefs are like, and most importantly, how you can shift these beliefs. And people that have taken this course have had outstanding results. They've told me this course alone has really changed the trajectory of their business, because they finally were able to make money, receive money, and keep money because they have changed their relationship with money. So if they had a 1, 2, or 3 in the beginning of the relationship with money, after the course, they said to me it was like a 9 or 10, and they could really magnetize money to their experience. And that course alone normally is also $997. Now, my 3rd online course is my Sensitive Awakening Family. And I know some of my family members are here. So hello to all of you. So I have a course unit where we have 4 video modules of empowerment, self, and money. So this is not specifically for entrepreneurs. This is more the personal development side for us as HSPs. So you have 4 self-study modules waiting for you, plus a very active and wonderful Facebook group where I do a live coaching session every month in our private Facebook group, where you can ask me for guidance, where I pull cards if that's something you're interested in, or just give you my personal guidance. And you get 3-month access as well. So lifetime access to all of these courses and 3-month access for the coaching. And so that is something you would be able to join as well. Then I don't know who here was part of my blockbuster Awaken Your Sensitive Power Summer School, where we had these 11 training sessions together. This was last year when I hit my 1 million views. So each year I try to come up with a kind of great celebration. So you're going to get access to all of these 11 video lessons that I did there. And they're really, again, there to soothe the sensitive soul, help you awaken to your power, step into the glorious you that you are, right? That's really so important to me. And then lastly, my 5-day abundance accelerators. I know also some of you were participating in that one. So this is where we go into money mindset shifts. And this is not so much from the money perspective as really how you can handle your psychology and how you can make better decisions, how you can get over learned helplessness, how you can move from a closed to an open mindset, and how you can be a true innovator. So all of these courses together encompass my entire thinking, if you like, everything I've learned ever in business in one go. And I'm going to make this available, all 5 courses. And I mean, if they were at the regular investment, they would cost $3,285. Now I'm going to give away all 5 courses for only $997. So this is my heart-to-heart offer to anybody who's like, yeah, you know what, I'm ready to really become a successful sensitive business owner. This is for you. Now, of course, I have a payment plan. So it's a full payment is $997, and the payment plan option is 4 monthly payments of $297. So I try to find an affordable way for everybody to join, and you get lifetime access to all of these courses, and you get a 3-month access to my group coaching sessions, monthly group coaching sessions. So you also have live support from me as well. And I'm just going to click in the offer here so everybody can have a look at this. So let me just show you here. You can follow along. Here you go on the right side. And you can just click on that if you want to check it out in more detail. And I also have a VIP option if you say, okay, I love all this online support, but I want a personal touch from you. I'm also going to have a celebratory offer for you there. So if you want to go VIP, I'm going to offer a money magic coaching session. And I'm very intuitive, so I can very quickly pick out on what's going on for someone, why it's going on, and help them release their inner blockages. And this session is going to be dedicated specifically to unearthing any money beliefs and change them. So we will use this one-on-one coaching session together to intuitively determine your 3 key money blocks, and most importantly, how you can shift out of them and release them. And I will also help you find the hidden money opportunities in your business. So this is a 90-minute VIP session. So this you can have as well. So the offer for that, if you were to take the online courses, the 5 online courses plus this coaching session, the regular investment would be $4,785. And for a limited time, you can book this special time with me, a 90-minute one-on-one coaching session, just me and you, focusing on you, your money mindset, and your business, plus the 5 online courses. And that you get for the total price of $1,500 US. So you have the full payment option here at $1,500, and you have the VIP payment plan. If you think, I love the online courses and I want this extra level of support, then you can also join with the payment plan. So that's 2 monthly payments of $875 US. So these are my 2 super duper offers for you. And just to show my appreciation and want to give you also an extra sparkling bonus if you join, here's my webinar special. And this is only going to be for as long as I have seats. So this is limited to 8 people, 8 seats. I'm going to do, end of June, a 2-hour live sales and money mastermind session with 8 entrepreneurs, right? And this is worth $500, and you get it for free, whether you buy the regular package or the VIP Ultimate Sensitive Success package. You get it for both. If you join me now, this is what you get. You get access to this masterminding session. And this is essentially a group coaching session where everybody will have their spot in the limelight, where I will do some spotlight coaching with you directly. We'll hop on a Zoom call, and I will help you really up your sales and your money game. Because as I told you before, I think this is so important for us as sensitive entrepreneurs to really step up and step out when it comes to our money abilities. And if you feel that this could be a benefit to you, also to surround yourself with other sensitive entrepreneurs and kind of exchange on a soul level what it's like to be an HSP and how we can all up-level our game together, then this is the free webinar bonus. So it's only while spaces last. So I have 8 spaces available, and they're going as of now. So if you purchase either the regular or the VIP, you'll be automatically added to this until until this session is basically booked out. So just a quick recap: you can have the 5 online courses, you have the 3 coaching sessions in my Sensitive Awakening family in the Facebook group. You have, of course, there the Facebook group support. You have a VIP option to have a 90-minute call with me, and you have the 2-hour mastermind, which is my webinar bonus at the end of June. So I'm really excited about this because I've never done this before, never even thought of bundling everything I've ever done before for the price of just 1 course. And this is kind of my heart-to-heart offer to you. And you don't need to hurry to finish these courses. If you think, oh my God, how am I going to finish 5 online courses? You don't need to worry about that. You have lifetime access to all of the online courses, plus a 3-month access to the Sensitive Awakening family Facebook group, where you get these live coaching sessions with me. And the access to the material is hosted on a beautiful membership site. You will get your access details, and they're all in video format. You have beautiful handouts, PDF guides, you have Reiki videos, meditations. It's a full service offer, and everything is waiting for you right there. And it's not specific to any industry. So whether you're product-based, service-based, MLM entrepreneur, it's really made for any kind of HSP entrepreneur. And so just to recap the prices, the standard package is for the 5 courses is just one-time $997 or 4 monthly payments of $297. And the VIP version is $1,500 or 2 monthly payments of $875. So these are the 2 options. You can click on on the box to check it out. And now, of course, I can also share with you a few feedbacks, but I'd rather already start our coaching because we're already a little over time. But if you want to see some testimonials, you'll find them on my websites to see how people feel about the courses they've taken with me and how much it helped them to kind of digest their sensitivity and really thrive with who they are and how they are. All right, so let's imagine the best life for you where your sensitivity is actually the key that unlocks your success. And that's what I want for you, my dears. So I'm going to hop into the chat, and now we're going to do some intuitive coaching. So any questions you have for me, I'll be happy to coach you now, and of course answer any questions about either of these two packages if you're interested. So I'm going to pop over here again, and I'm going to take away my screen share. Here we go. I'm going to turn back on the chat. Here we go. So I'm back. Wonderful. So if you have any questions for me about the package, about the offer, or a question about your business that I can answer for you, then I'm going to be thrilled to do that. And this is a replay viewers. Of course, we appreciate all of you dear replay viewers as well. So replay viewers, as long as you will see on the page that the mastermind option is still there, my free mastermind bonus, then that means there is still room for you. If that option is no longer visible on the sales page, then that means the spaces are gone. So if you want to benefit from that special webinar bonus, then hop on that right now. And I'm going to take a quick sip of water, and I want to thank you all already for going on this journey here with me, my dears. And then I had the opportunity to share both my success principles and also my super duper offer. And I'm happy now to answer your questions, so feel free to ask away. Well, I mean, that's a great question. So the question is, how did I become comfortable with sharing, showing my sensitivity? So the answer to that is it's a journey. When I was younger, I tried, like many HSPs, to pretend I'm not so sensitive because I thought it was inconvenient to be sensitive. I thought it's inconvenient to have different needs. And I wasn't proud of being sensitive. I thought this is a weakness. And throughout my journey, I learned that what actually sets me apart is part of my sensitivity, that I had the really razor sharp intuition, that I really knew things in advance. I almost have like a I don't know how you call it, but maybe a psychic sense for things, that I knew how to love very deeply and very genuinely. And I managed to be interested in getting to know myself and really see, okay, why am I hiding this? I have so much to offer. And I surrounded myself with more people like me. So I tried to really find other sensitives where I knew I felt safe at first to share it. And then the more I saw them also say, oh, I'm like that and I'm like that, the more comfort it gave me to also go out beyond my circle of fellow sensitives into the world generally and speak up. And that speaking up ended up culminating in my TED Talk, where I really spoke up about my sensitivity. And it was very freeing, because if you feel you have to hold back from who you are, then that's a very painful experience. And the more you step into your power, the more other people will also recognize the power and honor it in you and honor you for being a sensitive person. So today, I almost never have people tell me I'm too sensitive anymore, because I don't believe that anymore, right? But when I used to believe that this is something that is not a good part of myself, that's when I received also much more criticisms and I felt much more vulnerable. So it was really a transitional time for me, right? So if you're considering how to become comfortable, well, I mean, it's taking steps to acknowledge yourself first, love yourself, and then really share from your heart who you are with people. And you will see that you're mostly going to be very lovingly received by them. Oh, Lisa, that's so nice. Summer school reminded me of who I am, and I totally changed my life starting with this course. Highly recommend. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Lisa. That's absolutely amazing. And I'm still in my day job, which is not kind to HSPs, and I'm multitasking so much and so effective, but burning out. I need to find my entrepreneurial niche. All I know is I love working with my students. I'm a people person and I'm very creative. How do I start to find my niche and develop the income I know but don't always feel I deserve? My intuition tells me I'm on the threshold of something new and exciting that I create, but how to begin? Oh, this is an amazing question. So the way I began, and I've actually created 6 businesses to date. So just to preface that, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I love creating businesses, and I love being of service with the things I believe in. So the first thing you want to do is before you think about your niche, is you want to ask yourself, who do you want to help and how do you want to serve? So that's the bigger question than looking for the niche first, is you want to start with yourself first. What would light you up to do? Which kind of people do you feel called to support? And where do you have maybe special skills or special talent? For me, for example, when I created my Entreprincess business, I knew I had many years of entrepreneurial experience. I knew I had stepped into my sensitive power, and I knew I loved fellow HSPs. And I thought, how can I help these people? What can I offer to people just like me that are maybe a little bit early on in the journey? How can I reach back and support them with what I have learned? So you want to take stock of your skills. You want to take stock of your experiences. You want to take stock of your desires. And then you want to start formatting a vision for yourself of how you can create a business that encompasses all of these parts of yourself so that you actually create something that truly lights you up. And that would be my first step. And once you have some clarity on that, then you can bring in the more business dimensions of how do you determine who your exact niche would be, what the kind of specific offer should be, what the price point should be, how you should market it, and all that good stuff. But I encourage you to believe that it's absolutely possible as an HSP to step into the role of a business owner and create a business that has impact on others and also helps you make a lot of money. Lotta, I'm feeling strong and healthier than ever. Thanks to you, Elena. Oh, that's amazing. I just so everybody knows, Lotta was one of my dear private coaching clients. So I'm so happy. So he says, I have implemented what you're just talking about, and now I'm ready to be financially fit too. Go you, Lotta. I'm so proud. I'm so impressed by you. So Lotta, you're saying, our coaching last year became life-changing and key to not holding myself back anymore. Forever grateful. Well, I'm forever grateful, Lotta, that you said yes to you and that you gave me this beautiful opportunity to support you. So that means so, so, so much to me. Jesslyn. So you say, Ellen, I have many passions and ideas. I've spent the last 4 years exploring options and debating going to grad school, but not pinpointing one specific. Sometimes I feel that I just need a mentor or a coach. How do you narrow down what to focus on? You work with people at identifying what skills, passions, and skills to use in order to develop a career or possibly a business. Oh, yes, absolutely, Jesslyn. So if you feel that you've been stuck on this for a while and you kind of have your special thing eluding you, then that's absolutely something I work on with my clients. And how I do that is a mix of my business background and my intuitive skills. So I'm highly intuitive and I can pick out the energy of what you're saying, and I can read between the lines and really figure out for you what's going on and what your kind of secret sauce could be for your business and how you can bring that to the world. So I do this kind of work many times. I really enjoy that. And for example, if you wanted to jump on this opportunity to secure this special prize, I'd be absolutely open, and this goes for everyone, this 90-minute coaching session. That's all I would need to actually help give you the focus of what you should do for your career and or for creating a business around it. I don't need more than a 90-minute session for that. I'm open to changing the focus of these 90 minutes from a money-making session to a session focused on what your target should be and how you can create that business for yourself. So if you want to jump on this opportunity to have all of my online courses and basically just pay $500 for, normally the whole coaching would cost $1,500. So if you have everything lined up together there, then that would definitely set you up for success. And I'd be very happy to support you with that, Jesslyn. So it's definitely something I like doing and do very well. Oh, Birgit, she's another one of my wonderful clients. And she just says, I'm in a coaching sessions with Elena and it's absolutely great. And she does it tremendously well. Thank you, my dear Birgit. I really love doing this kind of work. And what's nicer than having your own clients jump on and confirm that. So thank you so much, Birgit, for sharing that. So Marcus, do you think that there's just one calling? Because I'm interested in science. I studied chemistry. I taught myself programming and I love it. And I love to coach people. So I'm also interested in personal development and psychology. Well, here's the thing. I don't think you just have one calling. I'm perfect proof for that because I have created 6 different businesses and all of them meant a lot to me. If you ask me, was my skincare business where I help fellow eczema sufferers not have the skin illness anymore, was that my mission in life? Absolutely. And is my mission in life to help sensitive entrepreneurs? Absolutely. So what I'm saying is, yes, you can have different missions, but my advice would be do one at a time, not both at the same time. Because we're multifaceted beings, we have more than one passion, but what I love to do is draw out which passion is the most potent passion and the most potent kind of energy at this moment in time, and you create a business with and around that. So that's how I would see that, Marcus. Great question. So hopefully that can help you, because I always find that at any given moment in time, we have one very strong energy that calls our soul also to create a certain business or a step into a certain career or step into a kind of different service of any kind. So it's also a soul journey that we want to include in that. So any further questions, my dears? I'm still delighted to answer any questions you have. Oh, you're very welcome, Marcus, of course. If you have any questions about your business, about your career path, about being an HSP, or about my 2 offers, I'm delighted to serve you in any way that will be of help to you. Kent, so you asked, how do you lift up negative people that are close to you without allowing their struggling attitudes to affect me in a negative way? That's a great one. And I think one where every HSP here in this room will absolutely relate to this, because we're very empathic, we pick up on other people's negativity, and it actually comes into our own energy spheres and comes into our bodies even, right? So the energy of negativity is quite powerful from other people. So this is where taking great care of yourself, upping your own self-love and firm boundaries, and like I said in my presentation, a firm no. Like when it's too much for you to listen to them, you excuse yourself. When you know that they call you every day, you maybe phase that into every second or every third day. You kind of try and limit your exposure to this, because you cannot really help somebody who's not yet willing to go to that new level. And in my belief, we're always most responsible to maintain the joy of our own soul. So if something continuously kind of tears us down and takes us out of our own alignment, then we really need to figure out how we can protect our soul and our alignment more. So boundaries, saying no, protection, that would be my main tips. And you have absolute permission to put your soul first, because you're here to express and live your own soul. So Lisa, I'm in transition from establishing the new brand and attracting my ideal client profile, but now that I'm in a higher level design area, clients want more than they are willing to pay. How do I stand firm in my pricing when I'm losing jobs and new clients coming in slower than I'm used to, or even need to support myself? I feel like I'm in a tipping point. Lisa, I would say that if this is showing up for you, then it's an inner energy alignment that you want to be readjusting, right? So if you find that you are not attracting the right people with your price point, or jobs are falling away, or it's just not working in the way you want to, then I would say it's about your energy. There must be something in your own energy still that maybe doesn't feel worthy of the new prices, that is scared that other people will judge these prices as too high or not in alignment. And what you want to do is you want to really deepen your self-love, work on your money mindset in a variety of ways. For example, you can do daily tapping. I love, for example, EFT tapping by Brad Yates, to really anchor yourself in to the truth that you are worth it, that you deserve it. And if you magnify your energy into a positive energy of expectation, then you can absolutely receive the right clients who will not object to your prices and that will be happy to pay them and happy to value them. So if you have money troubles in your business, it usually starts with your own energy field, right? So that's why I'm dedicating this 90-minute session for those who want the VIP package to this money mindset thing, because that's so important. We are the driving force between, you know, success and not success when it comes to money attraction and our own money beliefs. So clearing those beliefs and up-leveling them is going to be most beneficial for you here. And maybe also listen to, you know, Abraham Hicks on YouTube for free and just get into the field of possibility again, because there are many clients that are happy to pay any kind of price that you have, that you feel comfortable with. They're out there. So if you raise your vibration, you're going to light up to them and they're going to find you and see you. Okay. Marcus, how do you break psychological patterns with yourself? Well, the first step is you want to identify a pattern. And that is already, I would say, even more than half the game. If you identify your pattern, then it's no longer unconscious. So whatever was unconscious, if you bring it to consciousness, that's when you can start changing it. That's when you can start really finding new ways to tackle it. And whatever is the new belief or the new pattern you'd like to install, you need to fuel energy towards that. So you need to consciously create new patterns. You can't just stop the old ones. You want to introduce new ones. So if you look at it like from a health perspective, okay? So say you've been eating a chocolate cake every day and you want to transition to a healthier diet. You want to break that pattern. So you can, of course, stop eating that chocolate cake. But what you really want to do is you want to introduce something else that you're going to eat instead of that chocolate cake. So you introduce a new pattern. So maybe every time you crave a chocolate cake, you're going to have a piece of fruit, right? So this is how you break a pattern, not by just stopping it, but by introducing what you want to introduce. Carola, that's a really interesting question. So the question is, can not following your passion create health problems? Oh, yes. So here's how I see it. I think your soul, especially for HSPs, our soul is so much a visible part for us. When we don't listen to it, when we don't follow our passions, when we don't explore our passions, we can tire ourselves. And usually that can lead to burnout. So I've seen many HSPs that have gone into burnout from not living their passions and not honoring their desires. So the more you follow your passion, the more this will energize your whole being. And the more you shut down your passions, it's like you remove the fuel from your car, you can't get very far, right? So you want to always try and see how you can open yourself up to passion, open yourself up to your desires. Like I said, also in my 10 success principles, really try and allow your desires into your life experience. And this conversation is a lovely community for this discussion. Thank you, Elena, and everyone for contributing and listening. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here with me. Lotta, I'm still holding me back in my network marketing business. I finally found how in my way, but I find myself doubting my skills due to past experience. Any mantra or tips how to progress? Okay, so what's going on here, Lotta, is that you believe that your past will always be your future. And we need to break sometimes the pattern of being who we always were to become who we want to be. So that's a little bit like the advice I just gave to Marcus. You want to create a new personality for yourself in the sense that you want to create a possibility field in yourself where you actually think, I'm the kind of person who's very successful at this. I'm the kind of person who can do this, rather than saying, oh, I never succeeded at this in the past, so I will never get good at this in the future either. You want to pattern interrupt that and allow yourself to progress into the life you do want. And most likely, there are some money mindset issues here. So as a first start, I would probably do some EFT tapping on money, just to shift your energy field again, and also feed your brain as much as you can with, I said, these inspirational vitamins to take you back into the field of possibilities, right? So read books that inspire you, or listen to podcasts or YouTube videos. Just get back into the vibe of, yes, I can, yes, I will. And then there's nothing that has to hold you back, because you can break the pattern of yourself. And there's a book that you might enjoy by Joe Dispenza. I can't piece the title together perfectly, but it's something like Break the Habit of Being Yourself. And I think this can be really good for you, Lotta, at this moment in time. Carola, I'm having energy issues which translated into depression, anxiety, loss of myself, among several health problems. I find it hard to focus and be consistent. I've tried dealing with health first, but it's not working. They're intertwined. Where do I start? Well, I can totally feel for you, Carola, and I know that when our body manifests illness, then usually the soul was the first one to kind of pipe up and say, I'm not happy, right? So typically the energy begins in the soul and then manifests in the body. So I believe that you can, you don't need to find where do you start first. I think you can work on both simultaneously, on your health and on your soul journey. And maybe a good question to ask yourself would be, Carola, what would make me happy? Like, when was the last time that you actually thought about your joy again? Because especially when we're suffering with energy issues like anxiety or depression, we close our field of possibility and we stop thinking about what we can do and what would light us up anymore, right? And then our soul kind of gets even more tired because we're not exploring things that would give us joy. So what I'm feeling for you, Carola, is maybe as a first step, investigate what would give your soul joy again, and spend some energy thinking about it, visualizing it, as if it's already happening to you, right? To really rev up the positivity engines within yourself. That would be one thing I would really do, is deepen your connection to your own passions and desire again, and listen to the part of yourself that felt not listened to. And on the other side, I would say, yes, absolutely continue your health journey. And if it's not working, if your health is not getting better, then that's just a sign that it's not the right path yet, or maybe you haven't found the right healing modality or the right diet or whatever it is. Persist. Really, with health, persist. I had so many health challenges too. I absolutely feel for you. I know what it's like to think that there is just nothing working, but there always comes a point where you do find it if you keep looking. So if you keep exploring what's possible, I can promise you, you will find something that will help you. So I hope that really helps. And ironically, I just Googled that book, and there's a free ebook option available temporarily. Oh my God, that's, you see, that's the manifestation in action. I love that. Oh, and Lotte, you're so welcome. Wonderful. Marcus, I want to write a book about my story. I've been writing a lot in my journals, and I think my observations and my perception are valuable for other people, but I don't know exactly in what direction I should go. And many things are already taught by other trainers. Okay, so here's the beauty. There will always be other people who will have offered what you want to offer, be it as a service, be it in a book or in any capacity. You must trust that your voice, for some people, will really change their life, because they will hear it from you in a way that they can't hear it from someone else. And you know, everybody has to find mentors that speak their language, right? So sometimes when I have my clients come to me, they say, oh, You know, I've had so many coaches or mentors and nobody understood me. Nobody spoke my language, and then nobody understood my sensitivity. When I speak to them, they're like, oh my God, you're sitting in my head. How do you do that? Well, I don't really do that. It's just that I speak a language that's the common language, right? So I get my clients get me. And you have to think about that for your book, is that your voice is needed because there will be people who need this message in your voice with your examples and your life experiences, and they will get it much more than maybe from somebody else. So what you want to do is honor exactly your truth and your story and write it in such a way that it's really most powerful for you. Sure, Marcus, you're very welcome. Carola, thank you so much. Just hearing your words speaking to me has me in tears. Hope being heard. Oh, absolutely, Carola. And you know, there is so much hope for you, and you know, you're here and you can do anything you want. You know, as long as we're all here on this planet, we can change our life at any moment in time. And please reach out, get the support you need in any which way that might be, medical support, coaching support, whatever feels right for you. Give that gift to yourself, because you deserve to feel wonderful and you deserve to have a life that you actually love living. Sure, absolutely. Oh, and Marcus, you're buddying up for book accountability partners. That's awesome. Wonderful. So, my dears, any other questions that I can help you with before I'm going to close out our webinar? It's been so much fun to connect with all of you. So let me see if there's any more questions. Sometimes it's just take a while to come. So if you haven't asked a question yet, don't be shy. Now's your chance. So it's been already great to hang out for almost 2 hours now. So it's amazing that as fellow sensitive entrepreneurs, we have so much to say to each other. Marcus, what do I say about scarcity in selling? I think from a business point of view, it makes sense to help people make a decision. So when you do employ scarcity in selling, you want to A, do it from a place of integrity, and B, you want to do it from a place of service. So what that does is, if you offer something with scarcity, is it helps people make a decision. And sometimes, you know, even if somebody really wants to make a decision, they're not able to because they have fears or blocks, and they go backwards and forwards in their mind. And sometimes if there's a scarcity, it actually forces them to decide. And that's not necessarily a yes decision. It can be a no decision, but it helps somebody make a decision. So if used with integrity, I think it can be of service to everybody involved. So that's how I feel about that. Oh, you're so welcome, Lotta. Yay. And so cool that you have this free book on the way to you. Awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Beautiful. So I hope, my dears, that helped anyone. If you still have questions about my offer, of course, I'm also here to support you with that. So you have my regular package, you have my VIP option if you want my coaching support. So this will be the cheapest price you can ever get my coaching support for, as well as all of my online courses, really. So have a look at that. So Marcus, I don't recognize scarcity with you, and you sell well. Thank you, Marcus. You know, selling well to me is actually being genuinely excited about what you have to offer people. That's when you sell it well, because then it's not really selling, you're just sharing something you love. And if it resonates for someone, great. And if it doesn't, then it's also great, right? I'm never offended if somebody doesn't buy something, then it's just not right for them. But if somebody's fired up about it, then that's awesome for me, right? So Lotta, and again, best investment ever in coaching sessions with you, Elena. Thank you, Lotta. I feel it was wonderful to work with you. Renata, we have a question. My biggest problem is to be just making the time to do the personal work. I get overwhelmed and put off doing self-care work. Yes. So Renata, this is something that I think most of us HSPs have in common, is that self-work seems almost like a chore on top of our already big list of things we have to do. And it's like, oh my God, now I should have gratitude and read every day and do this every day. And oh my God. But here's the magic sauce. When you do put self-care first, a lot of other things take care of themselves because you're in a higher vibe. You will attract more opportunities. You will feel better. You'll be more positive. A lot of things in your life experience will actually work out for you in really, really, really powerful ways. So if you think that you want to upgrade your life experience and you want to upgrade your business, if you want to do that, then put self-care first. Sounds counterintuitive, but that's really how it works. So, and that's true for all of us, right? It seems like we do self-care when we have extra time, but the reality is, if we wait to have time for self-care, we'll never have time for it, and we'll end up maybe getting sick or being distressed or having money issues or just not feeling in a good vibe. So the path to financial abundance is really also the path of self-love and self-care. Yeah, Lotta, exactly. So Lotta says, self-care first has been key for me. Magic is starting to happen. Absolutely. That's how it does happen, right? Is when you take care of yourself, then you can actually take care of others, and you can take care of business, and you're in a good energy. And you know, my clients often say to me, oh, it's amazing, Elena, you're always in such a good mood, you have so much energy, and I have so much to give. And it's true, I have a lot to give. And the reason for that is because I give to myself first. If I wouldn't do that, I would be exhausted. I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, let's do another webinar, let's do this. Like, I wouldn't have the energy. But I have the energy because I take care of myself first, right? So that's a really big one. And don't feel guilty about that. Remember my cardinal rule, you need to be a good guardian for your soul. That's your #1 responsibility. If you do that, the rest will flow really easily into your experience as well. So I hope that everybody who's here with me still, you make a note of that for yourself, and you decide what one self-care thing you could do for yourself, even still today. What is it that you could do? Self-love, self-care, whatever that would be for you today. Amazing. Okay, my dears, I think we've come to the end of the questions. Thank you so much for spending this time with me and for sharing this positive energy with all of us HSPs, and to all the replay viewers as well who are going to watch this. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I'm so pleased that we got to share this and that I had the opportunity to share my experiences and my success principles with you. And I do hope that I have the opportunity to be of even bigger service to you in my online courses, and potentially also if you want to work with me personally so I can support you. So it's amazing if we can do all that together. Thank you all so much for showing up, for bringing your love, for bringing your good vibes. I love our community, and I love also those that haven't said hello. I know sometimes us HSPs can be a bit shy, so I see many of you are there. I send everyone big love, and thank you for hanging out, and thank you for being in the world and making a big difference. So you all matter. You're all awesome. I love you all. Take really good care of yourself and stay in touch. Bye, everyone. Bye. Bye, Ken. Bye, Joy. Bye, Lotte. Bye, Marcus. Bye, Carol. Bye, Ain. Love to you all. Bye-bye.